I think I would cater more to the college generation because I feel like there's not a ton to do. Like, we have bars and stuff, but if you're under 21, like, you really can't go there. I think Rhino actually has done a great job of creating an environment that's, like, college friendly. So I guess I would just add more stuff to do. I feel like there is a lot of stuff to do, but it's not geared towards college students.
Probably the crime rate. I feel like violence is beginning to get out of hand, though it's always been a pretty big matter. I just feel like now, it's starting to escalate at a more rapid rate, and I don't think that's good for the community at all, especially, with people wanting to actually raise families here. I think that should be brushed up a little. I feel like things are more segregated and everyone is kind of like, they keep things basically amongst themselves in their friend group. I don't feel like people take the time to go out and interact and find new friends and things of that nature yet. So I feel like to a certain extent the city's kind of segregated, and if not by race, then by friend groups, and by cultures,
I think I would have people interacting more cross-culturally and cross-generationally, because it's very divided amongst age and I guess social interest.
Maybe the public transportation, to be honest, because I don't know, considering because I'm moving to Chicago in August, so as someone that's going to be mostly relying on public transportation, and I mean, I travel frequently as well, so having the opportunity, our bus fare, I know a lot of my friends don't have vehicles and stuff like that, so being able to have more things happening in order for there to be a bigger demand for public transit, maybe. I feel like if we even get a trolley like they have in New Orleans, or even the one on the boardwalk, I feel like that could improve even just the people how Shreveport closes early, some cities close at 10 and whatnot. I feel like Shreveport would be out later if we had more public transit. I guess looking at it from a art perspective, if I wanted to improve how the local artists here interact with each other, I feel like we should be more communicative on ideas. I feel like a lot of art communities here are very exclusive, meaning that they don't they have an idea, but they make it very specific where you can't really work with it. And I feel like in order to expand the art community here or improve it, we should be having topics or ideas that can be bounced off of each other, instead of rather than even just groups in general, just all wanting to stay exclusive. I'm all about bringing more people in, or collaborating with people, or creating art with other people. And I feel like in order to improve that, people need to be willing to go outside of what they're comfortable with, or be willing to negotiate ideas.
I think that it has broken out so much, there's nothing that you can't find anymore. With Spotify and SoundCloud, you can find any version of expression through music, especially in rap, because I think that people who dislike rap haven't really listened to it, because I don't think that they understand it. It's hard for them to get past certain aspects of rap.
I feel like a lot of the content within music nowadays is very vulgar. It steers away from typically the way women should be treated, the way they should be looked at in a certain light. I feel like a lot of things nowadays in music in general are very pessimistic, but I guess it just kind of depends on what type of music you listen to, because there still is a lot of good music out there.
I think music impacts more than we think, because people in this generation hear things in music and they want to just imitate it, when it's not realistic and not helpful to anyone.
Especially this time now, in politics and the whole presidency and things going on right now, and the Black Lives Matter movement, art art in general has been very prevalent in the past like year. 2016 for music was very, like, you could tell the difference between 2015 music and the music released in 2016. It's very more expressive. FK Twigs came out with her stuff. When did Grimes' album drop? At the beginning of January 2016, and a lot of people, since this is like a really hard time for a lot of people, and a lot of protesting is happening, a lot of people are speaking out on things that matter to them, a lot of people are relying on art as an outlet, and I feel like now in general it's very prevalent, and it's just gonna continue as like the president term goes on.
I don't think that's true. I mean, I think to a point, I think that if you're in your parents' house and you're not working and you're not going to school and they're having to take care of you, then I think that that's a problem. But I don't think that every millennial that I know is either in school or working full time.
With the way that technology, has improved and has advanced over time, I think it gives us the competitive edge to be lazy at the same time continuously working. You don't actually have to be so hands-on with everything being more in a home setting. You can do all your work from home. The way that Apple has set everything up, from phones to watches to computers, I mean, you basically don't even have to, leave the house. Just like even in older days, if the phone would ring, you'd have to rush out of the room. But now if the phone rings, you can just answer it on your watch, Or if you leave your watch and everything at home, you can still do everything, talk on the phone, everything from your computer. I just think things are a lot better nowadays because things are a lot more convenient. So, I think that they can kind of confuse the term. I think they kind of confuse the term convenient and lazy.
Because it's just the way that my parents and most of my friends in the area I grew up, it's just how we were raised, that we had a false sense of entitlement, just because maybe the generation before us did well enough and we just never had much to worry about, and so we think that that's just going to carry on over into our adulthood, which is not. We have to work for that.
I don't understand because, well, personally, I'm one of the most unlaziest person I've ever, not say ever met, but I'm very not lazy. I have a job. I'm in school full time. Over the summer, I was working almost over full time, all during the summer, with doing film outside of that, and I was also having an apartment, making and paying a car note, and I feel like millennials are more open to simple things. Like, I've never really encountered a millennial that was rude to someone in food service or was very, what's it called when you're very, things matter to you? Materialistic. Like, a lot of millennials I know aren't very materialistic. Like, if I get a paycheck, the only thing I want to do with that paycheck is either fill up my gas tank, pay my car note, and, get a cup of coffee. Honestly, it doesn't take a lot to make me feel fulfilled, and I know a lot of millennials like that. So, I don't understand the stereotype.